What's going on, people? It's Paul here again. I have another amplifier for y'all. It's from Rockford Fosate. It's the Prime Series R250X1. This amp has average price about $159.95. Has about a 1-year warranty. It's also about 150 watts RMS and the one at 4 ohms, or 250 watts RMS and the 2 ohms, or maxes out around 500 watts or so. Anyway, this is a Class 8B amplifier, and it's got plenty of power and stuff. So let's go ahead and open up the box. We'll see what's on the inside, and then we'll go from there. All right, go ahead and get the box open here. The first thing I see is the birth sheet, or it's not burp sheet, it's birth sheet. This is when the amp was made and finally tested for its correct power. So this one has, if you can see it, it's got 302 RMS power, so it could max out around 600 watts, depending on the type of circuitry that was used in here. Tells you the date and serial number, like a little certificate. You can hang it on your wall if you want. Set that off to the side. The next thing I see is, looks like the manual. Got some install screws, an Allen wrench for the terminals and everything, and a high level input plug-in if you don't have an LOC, which stands for line out converter, for those who have factory radios. And that's all for this package. The next thing I see is this little bubble wrap piece here, and it looks like it's the bass knob. It has 2 mounting screws. It's real small. You see it, fits in the palm of my hand. It's got a minimum max, and apparently has a little power button, or not power button, but power light to let you know the amp's on. And you can adjust it up and down. It has a phone style plug-in. And here's the cord to go from the amp to the bass knob. Set that off to the side. I don't see anything else grabbing before they get the amp, so there's nothing else in the box. Taking the styrofoam out. Nice and squishy. It keeps the amp from being damaged during shipping. Let's see, we go ahead and set the box off the side here. And we go ahead and pull this out. Wrapped pretty nicely and tight. Got these 2 pieces of tape are pretty strong. Alright, pulling it out of the bag. Let's just set that right there. And here's your amp. It has a nice little peel off that protects this being scratched. So anyway, there's the amp. Let's go ahead and get close up on it, and we'll take some measurements, and I'll just work my way around, show you all the different features that the amp has. Alright, got my little handy dandy ruler out, so I'm going to take some measurements and see what the measurements are before I show you all the details, which that's pretty much all of them right here in the front. So from end to end, we got, looks like 11 1/4. So we have 11 1/4 all the way across, and from back to front, it looks like 6.5 inches. So we got 6.5 inches here and 11 1/4 this way. And the height looks like it's right at maybe a little more than 2 inches, because it has this little ledge, whatever you call it, right here. So it's a little over 2.5 inches, or 2 inches. So we got 11 1/4 inches this way, 6.5 inches this way, and little over 2 inches from the top of this little ledge right here to the bottom. So that's the size of the amp. It just has nice, good, smooth, flat black. It's got the word Prime, which is upside down right now, all the way around. And of course at the bottom, it's got this little cover with the emblem of the Rockford Fosate, if you can see it right there. And the top has a nice little heat-sinked area with the Rockford Fosate logo, shaved, a ledge right there I was telling you about with the 4 screw holes for mounting. And on the top right here, like I said, this is the little cover that you peel off. Let's see if I can get it centered there for you. Here we go. It's got Prime RX250X1. Over here we got a punch EQ, frequency, hertz, phase, and gain. This is also your power and protect button. The punch EQ goes from minimum to max. The frequency goes from 50 hertz to 250 hertz. Of course, phase is always 0 to 180. And gain is from 1 to 11. And of course, attacked by dragonfly. get away! I know you're not going to sting me or bite me or anything, just all up on my face. Anyway, the gain acts like a massive volume knob, turns the gains up on that, makes it much louder, but then it might cause distortion. Usually on phase, just leave it on 0 unless you're doing something crazy with your woofers. And frequency goes from 50 hertz, which is really low bass notes, maybe like for like a ported box or something, and 250 hertz if you kind of want more mids and stuff. And of course, minimum, maximum for the punch EQ. Alright, now for this side right here, this is probably the meat and bones of everything. Probably just the meat of it. These three terminals right here, this is where that Allen screw I showed you earlier goes into here, here, and here, and here, and here. We got your ground, remote, and battery or positive wire. Your ground has to be short, straight to ground, at least 8 gauge for the power and ground. And this is your remote turn on right here in the center. And this is your speaker hookup. It has positive and negatives. It's a one-channel lamp, so there's no left and right. It's just one positive, one negative. So if you brought both your speaker wires out of your box or wherever, you have to twist them together and stick them up in here and tighten them down. This right here, this set of terminals, RCAs right here, this is for input coming from your radio. The second one here, it goes out to, it's called pass-through. So if you have a second amplifier, like another bass amp or a highs amp or something like that, you can go in here to the amp and then come out, from here to here, out to a second amp. So it's not changing anything, it's just sending the signal out that way to another amplifier. This is where you plug in your bass amp knob cord. Right here, and you go right out to the front where your knob's going to be, and this is where your high level input plug is. I showed you inside that package. And that's pretty much it. This is actually a pretty strong little amp for like some 10s and 12s. I've demonstrated for many customers, and it's they're pretty surprised on the size of the amp and how much power it puts out. That was the Rockford Fosate R250X1 monoblock Class B amplifier. I said it's about $59.95. Has a 1-year warranty. It's got 150 watts RMS and the 4 ohms, or 250 watts RMS and the 2 ohms, or in this case of this amp, 302 watts. So anyway, 500 to 600 watt amp max. Anyway, if you have any questions down below, just hit the comment section down there and ask me a question. Hit the thumbs up. This is Paul. I appreciate y'all watching. You have an awesome day, and please subscribe.